If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. You did have time. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So today has been one of these days where just everything that can possibly go wrong goes wrong, because I have my wonderful friend Timon here who has brought all of his flashy camera equipment over. We don't have a camera charger, 1, so we're using my shitty camera again. 2, Timon has managed to carry it in a bag that has a water bottle in this bag, and he spilled water all over his laptop, which is now broken, so we don't have editing software anymore. I dropped my phone down the toilet, so that's not working. What else has gone wrong? We're just shit. Everything has gone to shit. Anyway, hello and welcome back to another video. We're on video number 2. Yay! Today I am going to be explaining a little bit about the IB, which is the course that I do, and I think that there is not enough information out there for prospective IB students, so people in year 11 who are thinking about where they want to go post 16, and I want to kind of put out that it is an option and tell you a little bit about what it involves. So let's rock and roll. The IB, or IBDP, stands for the International Baccalaureate Diploma Programme. It is an option that you can do for post-16 education, same as college, A-levels, BTECs, whatever they do in other countries. The IB is something that is run in lots and lots of different countries all over the world, across Asia, Europe, America, etc. It is fantastic that they do this because they place a massive emphasis on how it enables you to interact with people all over the world, and let me tell you, there is definitely a moment where you connect with someone from a different country who also did the IB, and there's just a magical moment between you where you understand each other's pain, basically. Another good thing about it being an international qualification is that the government, the English government, who keep screwing with the A-level system, so I hear, can't touch it. It doesn't change from one year to the next. It's also quite good because it forces you to do lots and lots of different subjects, because it's compulsory to do maths, it's compulsory to do English, it's compulsory to do a language. It enables you to study a wide variety of subjects in a certain amount of depth that you just wouldn't get at GCSE. Let's talk about subjects. In the IB, you do 6 subjects as opposed to your normal 3 or 4. You take 3 of these at higher level and 3 of these at standard level. Your higher level subjects are your kind of core subjects, the ones that you are going to want to study at uni, or that are going to help you onto your course at uni. So for example, I'm studying psychology, biology and German at higher level, and psychology is obviously what I want to study at uni. Biology as an additional science is what is required at higher level by lots of unis, and it's what's going to help me get onto the course. And German is something that I'm good at because I'm bilingual, but also studying a language at high level enables me to have a wider understanding of different cultures, etc, etc, which is something that will help with my UCAS application for psychology. Your standard level subjects will be things like maths and English, or a lot of people do a language at standard level as well. Your standard level subjects are basically your subjects that are gonna substantiate your course and just give you a wider knowledge and just keep you going with different practices, so that when you get to university you won't be, for example, completely shit at maths. Although then again, some people take maths higher level. I think they're crazy. If it's for you, knock yourself out. In the IB we have to study languages, maths, English, humanities, and what is the other thing that we have to do? I always forget this. Science. You have to study science. If any of these aren't particularly a strong point, there are options to make it a bit easier for you. For example, maths studies is a little bit easier than standard level maths, and ab initio language is a language basically from scratch, and if sciences really aren't your thing, then you can study sports science or ESS, because they are not particularly rigorously scientific, like higher level biology, for example. Other things that you have to do with the IB, there are 3 additional components to the IB which will become the bane of your life at some point. Number 1 of these 3 additional things is CAS. This stands for creativity, action and service. It's a little bit like if anyone did the Duke of Edinburgh Award, it's very similar. You have to do a creative skill. Mine would be, for example, playing the violin. Some people play an instrument, some people do artistic things. Action is sports, which means that you have to keep yourself physically active and do a certain amount of this every week. So you could go to the gym or you could join a sports club. And service is volunteering, which kind of speaks for itself. It's voluntary work, and you have to do a certain amount of this throughout the year. It's not in set hours anymore, but you do have to log and prove that you have done it. And the idea is that it enables you to be a better member of your community and your society, essentially. Whether that's true or not, I don't really know. The second additional component of the IB is theory of knowledge. It's very similar to philosophy. It's kind of like epistemology. It's the study of how we know what we know. It basically involves a lot of conversations about very random topics. At the end, you have to provide an essay and a presentation, both of which will be marked and will count towards your final IB score. Your third and final additional component is the extended essay. This is a 4,000 word essay in a topic of your choice, preferably from one of your higher level subjects. You'll be assigned a supervisor, and then throughout your IB course, this is something you're expected to work on and build on until the deadline when you hand it in. And this grade also goes towards your final IB. Let's talk about grading. The IB is graded out of a total of 45 points. So we don't have grades, we don't have A's, B's, C's, etc. We have a point system. Each subject is graded on a point score from 1 to 7. 7 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. I think anything below a 3 is considered a fail grade, but lots of universities will ask for specific points requirements in certain subjects, particularly hires if you're studying them. So for example, they might want 766 in your higher level subjects, or at least a 5 in standard level maths. That would be something that I would definitely recommend checking on university websites, on UCAS, whatever your university system of choice happens to be. For your 6 subjects, there's a total of 42 points available. There are up to 3 points available for your theory of knowledge and your extended essay. Be warned, the extended essay, theory of knowledge and CAS may not seem like particularly important things, but if you fail any of these components, you will fail the entire IB and come out with nothing. Is the IB for you? The IB, I think, is for people who don't really have a clear idea of where they want to go after sixth form. So if you don't really know exactly what you want to go into at university, it's very good because you study everything and you don't completely rule anything out at this point. It's also very good if you have quite a wide range of interests and don't particularly want to limit yourself at this point, which is why I personally took it, because I had such an interest in, I didn't want to drop literature, I didn't want to drop languages, I didn't want to drop art, but these are all things that I can continue while pursuing my specific interest in psychology for the time being. If there's a very specific university course that you're looking at applying to after sixth form, then I wouldn't recommend doing the IB, because you can focus solely on that. With something like A-levels, you can choose subjects that specifically are geared towards that course. The IB is very hard work. Most people will just tell you, don't do it, and they have got a point. As someone who's never done A-levels, I can't tell you whether it's more difficult or not, but I can tell you that it is a lot of work, and if you do choose to do the IB, then you will have to start putting work in from the off, because you are going to regret it when you get to year 13, have been doing fuck all for the last year, and then all your deadlines come at once. So while the IB definitely has its pros and cons, which I may talk about in future, you will have to be aware that you would have to work very, very hard. I'm sorry, I know this has been very complicated. Unfortunately, that is the nature of the International Baccalaureate. It is not a simple qualification, because there is just so much that you have to do and think about. I hope this has been informative, and you all feel free to go back and go over any specific sections if you feel that those would be useful. And if you want me to explain more, leave a comment down below and I will try and address any questions that you may have. Thank you very much for watching. I'm proud of you if you've made it this far, and hopefully I will see you soon with another video. Bye! 3 points if you get... Oh, I don't even know how to explain that. Are you moving the camera?
Yeah, a little straight.
So anal.
Just call me anal.